out. Other cars twist around the trouble spot. The end of the trail for Burris, one of the hottest modified drivers in the nation. He's won 5 championships, but he won't bring the cup home to the 5 kids today. Yarborough, the Batman, is okay. More trouble on that third turn. Rex White and car 4 spinning out. Lee Petty and Jim Reed just avoid him and save themselves for the rest of the race. Now, Fireball Roberts takes over the lead in his 59 Pontiac from Speedy Thompson, the 1957 winner, and the 2-track Tigers fight every foot of the mile in 3/8 course. Driving the Southern 500 today for the 10th time in 10 starts, his number 3 car plunges ahead for a lead he said before the race he wasn't interested in. He won last year's event with a record speed of 102.48 miles per hour. Trouble is Fireball's middle name as he's forced into the first of a marathon of unscheduled pit stops. He took first money here at both the 1957 and 1959 Rebel 300 races. Charlotte Speedy Thompson, another favorite of sports riders to win, regains the front spot. What's this? Joe Eubanks in the number 61 car carrying the Hollywood camera billows smoke on the straightaway and is out of the race for good. Surprise! Coming up from the second position he's held since the 14th lap is Banjo Matthews in car 93 to take over command of the Southern 500 here in the 27th lap. This is the Banjo Strummer's 4th try for this title. Fireball's back in the race, grabs that lead quickly for Matthews. Hold it, hold it! Number 10's got trouble. That's Elmo Langley. He's thrown a rod and he's on his way out of the race. There's 93, Banjo, passing Roberts to regain that lost lead. Jim Reed in car 7 bumps Bob Wellman in car 49 in the second turn, and they're glued together on the backstretch. Track temperature is now 114 degrees and going up. This is the fastest and finest track surface in 10 years. There goes young Jim Reed, here for his 6th try. And now car 6, Cotton Owens, squeezes through for the lead at the 69th lap of the 10th anniversary Southern 500 as Matthews makes a pit stop. But he doesn't have it long. Young Richard Petty in car 43 climbed from behind Buck Baker and Jack Smith to take charge. Look out! Cotton Owens bounces off the first turn rail. There's a shaken man inside that T-Bird. Cotton came in second here 2 years back, and maybe some fast work in the pit will bring him back. It's a battle of temperatures. Engines getting hot, track getting hot, tires getting hot, weather getting hot, drivers getting hot. Who or what is going to go next? Well, the next thing to go appears to be this little boy. Now, taking the lead again is driving Dick Petty. Cotton Owens bites out the front position in a seesaw clash for honors. Now, passing number 6 is Bobby Johns, car 72, a 57 Chevrolet on this 86th lap. They're having as many accidents today as lead changes. Going out of control is Dick Petty in car 43, skidding sharply. Petty is 2-time national champion Lee Petty's son, here for his initiation to the Darlington Battle Flyer. The skid doesn't keep him from taking a brief lead until Banjo Matthews, car 93, grabs the ball and refuses to be denied. Jimmy Thompson and Bob Wellman are driving mighty close. Beeseman tears Thompson's tire, crashes him into Wellman on the outside, who slams into the second turn guardrail. The two careen 500 feet down the backstretch. Car 4, Rex White, spins out of control, but he appears safe and ready to go back in the race. Crowd breathes easier as the news comes out that both Wellman and Thompson are all right. In fact, Thompson is mad enough to go back in and win the race. Spectators are stunned by the tragic crash of 2 leading contenders, old-timer Jimmy Thompson in his 7th stab at the Southern 500 and Bob Wellman making his 4th try. Car number 49 has no place to go now but the junk heap. The track crew works around passing cars to sweep the debris. 96 feet of guardrail wrinkled under the impact of the 2 cars going at 120 miles per hour. The green flag flies and the boys go back for more. Track temperature is sizzled up to 128 degrees and going up. Tire temperatures range from 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Dick Blackwell in car number 26 is losing control. He's spinning out, going into the second turn. Wasn't high enough, trying for too much speed. He's shaken, but he's okay. Dick ran in the old modified circuit for years. For 3 laps, Jim Reed in car 7 steals the lead, but Banjo snatches it right back. Right now, the 141st lap, Banjo Matthews in car 93 looks mighty good as a contender for the crown. Track temperature just past 130 degrees and the wear's beginning to show. Now, with Jim Reed, Dick Petty, and Joe Weatherly driving for rookie Bob Burdick, all pushing Matthews for first position, Bobby Johns forgets a pit stop and runs out of gas for a costly push to the pits. Banjo Matthews currently dragging, sparks are flying. The front of his car starts smoking, and it looks as Joe Matthews is out of the Southern 500 for good. Pit crew takes one look and gives up. So now, at the 178th lap, Banjo Matthews forfeits the lead to Jim Reed, the man with the lucky number 7. The man with the unlucky number 13 runs short of luck. Earl Belmer breaks his wheel and a stream of smoke follows him to the pit. The heat is on. The hole is open on the first turn, and the drivers are treating it gingerly. Larry Frank slams on the brakes to keep from hitting Joe Kaspelich. Now the quiet one, Jim Reed, establishes his lead for an impressive 58 laps. Somehow Reed has stayed out of the trouble spots and is beginning to pay off at this moment. Reed said he preferred racing alone and not with the pack. A good trick if you can do it. They call him short track because of his canny ability to manipulate on the short tracks. He's a Yankee, but a good man just the same. Started racing jalopies back in '47. Right now he's astounding the experts in the crowd by staying away from the pit as if it were a pit viper. Dick Petty wants that lead bad, real bad. 2/3 of the way through this grinding 500 miles, top contenders look like Dick Petty, 43, Jim Reed, 7, Joe Weatherly, 73, and Bobby Johns, 72. But which will it be? Which of the 4 contenders will be eaten alive by pit stop acid? Can Bobby Johns go all the way? He had the lead once. Can Jim Reed last 364 laps? Chances are slim because he's had only 2 pit stops. Fireball Roberts has a half a dozen by mid-race. Can Dick Petty, first time up, follow his dad's counsel from the track apron and take his 59 Plymouth across the line first? Watch it, Dick Blackwell over on the second turn, skids out of control. Dick is driving car 26, one of Tommy Irwin's Ford. He's okay. That was close. When one car skids, the lives of 6 men stand in the balance. Watch Reed now. Watch his tricks as he clips 3 drivers' wings at one pass. Now Weatherly and Johns fight it out. First of the 4 to slip is Johns, who conks out on the 220th lap. And now there are 3. Weatherly plunges into the lead, but a long pit stop cuts into his clock average. The first man to drive that 5,000th mile would have won the battle of heat and pit stops. That's the whole story here today. Burning cars, burning engines, burning tires, burning drivers, burning track. Right now, track temperatures have soared to 132 degrees and still going up. Only 4 pitmen are allowed to cross that wall when a car stops. Their speed and now or never attitude get those cars back out on the track in impossibly short times. But today it's rough. It's not just gas and tires, but wheels, carburetors, cams, gaskets, rods, clutches, entire engines failing under the cruelty of the heat and speed. Some emerge quickly, others bog down for vital minutes. You've got to realize that 500 miles of brutal treatment like this is like 50,000 miles of wear on your car and mine. Some are lucky, some aren't. Number 13 stays unlucky, starts an uncontrollable smoke orgy, and pulls into the pits a 3rd and final time, a ball of smoky defeat. Belmer isn't superstitious, but next year he may request another number. Now, on the 234th lap, the crowd and the press realize something big is happening. Average speed is over 110 miles per hour, surpassing the wildest dreams. Only 2 short caution flags so far kept that average way, way up, and a new track record is in the making. But the heat still bears down. Something's got to go. Weatherly, Reed, and Marvin Panch, relieving Dick Petty, are leading. Panch loses the wheel at the start of the second turn in a spectacular twist of fate that may kiss goodbye to the title. pit stop takes only 1 minute, 27 seconds, and Dick Petty takes 43 back in. But quiet, unassuming Jim Reed has that lead, and he and his Impala are fresh as daisies. Suddenly, the crowd realizes that little Joe Weatherly can't catch him, that Dick Petty can't catch him if he doesn't have to visit the pit. And he owed out a few more laps. Reed is pouring on the cold and praying nothing will happen. It could be that Jim Reed, the short track veteran, will come up a dark horse winner. What? A Yankee from Peekskill, New York, wins the Southern 500, the oldest and largest stock car race in the world. Here he comes now, around that last lap. And he does it at a record speed of 111 and 78/100 miles per hour, more than 9 miles an hour faster than last year, and more than 37 miles per hour faster than the first year. Jim Reed becomes the first driver to chalk up the 5,000th mile at Darlington, South Carolina, the man nobody was watching because he wasn't hitting the guardrail and wasn't visiting the pits. He wins because of his quiet, methodical handling on his 6th try. Into the winner's circle and a mass of humanity, Reed drives his final foot, and from then on, he's limp in the hands of Miss Southern 500, us countryside. It's been a big day, 100,000 human beings joyously jammed into Darlington, Carolina. But it was just a little too much for one boy and his dream.